But the problem of implementation and a dysfunctional machinery still stays. It can be now misused as much by men as by women. Secondly, this phrase, committed to the cause of women, is not quite as offensive a phrase as Mr. Ali is making out to be. I certainly would have preferred a term like a person with a proven track record of integrity in public life. That's the kind of wording I would have, because committed to the cause of women, how do you judge somebody's commitment to women?
Right.
Does Mr. Ali think commitment to the cause of women means being partial to women and being blind to issues of justice and fair play? I hope not. I think those who use the phrase just meant being gender sensitive, being sensitive to the fact that more women are likely to be traumatized, that more women are at the receiving end of sexual harassment, that more men are in positions of power where they control a woman's professional career prospects, and therefore they can use it. Far fewer women are in those positions in India. I, as I said, would have preferred a phrase like a person with a proven track record of integrity in public life, and that includes being non-partisan, being fair, making sure that no innocent is punished on the basis of cooked up charges, but also making sure that women's dignity is protected, which is not happening.
That is
with all the committees that we have seen. If you were to do an audit of all the sex harassment committees that have been appointed in so many
Right. In fact, Madhu, all of most people who have raised concerns will perhaps be more comfortable with that definition. Let me go across to Mohit Lalwani. Mohit, very quickly, considering all that you've heard now, how relevant do you think this issue will be when it comes up for hearing in India?
Well, the thing is, Rukmini, I think it's important for us to establish, I have no problem actually with a woman heading this committee, considering the fact that at least for the next many years in India, more of the sexual harassment cases are actually going to be filed by women. I mean, that's going to be a fact of life. So I have no problem with a woman, especially one who's sensitive to the cause of women, being in charge of this committee, of course, well selected. The reason I say this is because if you look at a country, again, as I said, in the US, where sexual harassment has developed and matured, in 1991, the reasonable person standard changed to that of the reasonable woman standard, which really gave a favorable, a favorable bias, if you will, though that's what the show is all about, a favorable bias to the defendant.
Right.
I'm sorry, to the person who was claiming sexual harassment.
Correct.
So, in that sense, I feel it's important, at least for now, for us to have a woman in charge of this committee, and obviously one who's well selected.
Right.
I think that's very important.
All right, Mohit, very relevant point there, but let me also quickly take in some of the views expressed by some of our viewers. We had asked them, is sexual harassment bill harsh to men in the current form? Nikhil Fortes writes in from Goa saying that regardless of the bill, there will be thousands of women who face sexual harassment in the workplace. At least now they have some legislature to protect them and may be more likely to report cases. Vinayak Pathak writes in from Bhubaneswar, who says that it is harsh and women are given the benefit of doubt with such reports, and men should be at their best behavior, at least in the office. Nisha Nags writes in from Jaipur to say, what if a male is sexually harassed at work? Will this case be even entertained? There are a few cases, but it does happen. Well, the jury is out on this particular issue, but of course it remains to be seen how the government decides on this issue. Of course, it does merit a lot more debate. Thank you very much to our guests, Madhu Kishwar, Wasif Ali and Mohit Lalwani, for joining us in this discussion. Let's take a very short commercial break. Top stories and headlines on the other side.